Yesterday, your plant looked healthy. The leaves were open. The tips were standing tall. Everything felt normal. Then this morning, you walk outside and something feels wrong. The leaves look sticky. Some are curling inward. You notice tiny green bugs clustered under the leaves. Ants are crawling up and down the stems like they found treasure. It can feel sudden, almost overnight. But here is something I've seen again and again over many growing seasons. When this happens, it often looks worse than it truly is. And in many cases, a very simple natural mix can slow it down by tomorrow morning. You're not doing anything wrong. These outbreaks follow patterns. They show up at certain times of year. They take advantage of tender growth. And they can make even experienced gardeners pause. Before explaining why this worked, it helps to understand what is really happening on your plant. Those tiny green insects are aphids. They are soft-bodied and very small. They gather in groups, usually on new growth. They do not chew holes in leaves. Instead, they attach themselves and gently pierce the plant tissue to drink sap. Sap is the plant's internal fluid. It carries nutrients and water. When aphids remove too much of it, the plant becomes stressed. The leaves may curl. Stems can look weak. New growth may twist. As aphids feed, they release a sticky liquid called honeydew. That sticky feeling on your leaves comes from this. Ants are attracted to honeydew. That is why you often see ants climbing the plant. They are not causing the problem. They are feeding on the sweetness left behind. Aphids multiply quickly. In warm weather, they can produce young without even needing to lay eggs in the usual way. That is why numbers seem to grow so fast during a warm week. If you live in a warm climate, aphids may appear for many months. In cooler regions, they often arrive strongly in spring when plants push fresh growth. Then their numbers slow as temperatures shift. Knowing this helps you stay calm. This is a cycle, not a personal failure. When people first see aphids, it is very normal to reach for a strong chemical spray from the store. The label promises quick results, and when you care about your plants, you want fast relief. But strong chemicals can sometimes create new problems. Many beneficial insects live in your garden. Ladybugs, lacewings, and other tiny helpers feed on aphids. When a harsh spray is used, it may harm these helpful insects too. That removes the natural balance that keeps pests in check. There is another pattern I have observed over time. When strong sprays are used repeatedly, aphids often return. Sometimes they return in even larger numbers. Without their natural predators, they multiply again. This is not about blame. Many good gardeners start with store sprays. It feels like the responsible thing to do. But sometimes a gentler approach works with nature instead of against it. Aphids have soft bodies. They do not have hard shells like beetles. This makes them vulnerable in a simple way. There is a natural mixture that has been used by gardeners for generations. It is made from mild liquid dish soap and water blended at a gentle ratio. Nothing complicated, nothing harsh. Soap works because it breaks down the outer coating of the aphid's body. That outer layer helps them hold moisture. When it is disrupted, the aphids cannot survive long. It is a physical action, not a poison. When applied properly, many gardeners notice a clear reduction by the next morning. Not magic, not perfection, but visible change. This approach works in both cool and warm regions. The main difference is timing. It is best used when temperatures are mild. Very hot sun can stress wet leaves. Very cold weather may slow results. The idea is simple. You are not trying to drench the soil. You are not trying to soak the whole yard. You are gently contacting the insects themselves. Understanding why it works gives you confidence before you even begin. When it is time to apply it, calm observation matters more than force. Aphids gather mostly under leaves and along tender stems. That is where attention should go. A light, even mist, is usually enough. The goal is to coat the insects so the solution touches their bodies. It does not need to drip heavily from the plant. Early morning or early evening is often the most comfortable time. The sun is lower. The plant is not under heat stress. This reduces the chance of leaf irritation. If your hands feel unsteady, a small spray bottle works just fine. There is no need for heavy equipment. You can even sit while you spray, taking your time. There is no rush. One important note is to use only plain, mild liquid dish soap. Do not mix it with bleach or other household cleaners. Strong additives can damage plants. Slow down. By the next morning, many may slow down. By the next morning, many may appear shriveled or gone. In cooler weather, results can take a little longer. Cold slows insect activity. In very warm weather, aphids reproduce faster, so a second gentle application may be needed after a few days. Within several days, if the pressure is reduced, was heavy. It is okay if it takes more was heavy. It is okay if it takes more than one light treatment. Think of it as reducing numbers gradually, rather than forcing an instant fix. This is steady care, not a battle. There are a couple of small mistakes that can limit results. One common one is spraying only the top of the leaves. Aphids prefer the underside. If that area stays dry, many will survive. Another mistake is making the mixture too strong. It may seem logical that stronger means better, but high soap concentration can stress plant tissue and cause spotting or leaf burn, especially in heat. If leaves were already curled before you sprayed, remember that aphids cause that curling. It was not your action that started it. Gentle correction works better than aggressive adjustment. Once the immediate problem is under control, prevention becomes simple observation. Aphids prefer soft, tender growth. When plants receive heavy fertilizer, they often produce very soft new shoots. That fresh growth attracts aphids. Moderate feeding helps keep growth balanced, not starved, not overly lush. Occasional rinsing with plain water can also help. A gentle spray from a hose dislodges early colonies before they grow large. This does not need to be daily, just periodic checks, especially during peak season. Encouraging beneficial insects supports long-term balance. If you notice ladybugs in your garden, that is a good sign. They are natural aphid predators. In cooler climates, early spring is the main watch period. In warmer climates, light monitoring throughout much of the year may be helpful. But again, this is observation, not constant labor. You are creating balance, not control. If you feel comfortable sharing, I would love to know what plant you are protecting right now. Is it roses, tomatoes, a small balcony herb pot? Many caregivers and seniors garden in different spaces, and it helps to hear what others are growing. There is no urgency to respond, just a gentle invitation to connect. Gardening becomes easier when we realize that most problems have simple patterns. Aphids look dramatic because they gather in clusters. But their weakness is also simple. They have soft bodies. They depend on numbers. When numbers are reduced, the plant often recovers. You do not need harsh chemicals. You do not need complicated systems. You do not need to spray constantly. You need the right, simple step, applied with calm timing. Healthy gardens respond to gentle care. When we observe first and act lightly, plants often reward us. Do less, get more.